All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is June 23rd, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I am the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. Hey, let's go take a look at some charts. Before I get started, let me remind you that tomorrow, June 24th, 2025, Rick Sadler's going to be holding an open house in the Hit and Run Candlesticks Trading Room. He'll probably be covering the rounded bottom breakout. He'll probably be covering a little 3/8 trap. Probably share his strategies of entry and profit taking. Show you where he finds support and resistance, entries, exits, stop losses, and directional options. Okay, so it's no charge. All you got to do is register. You can scan this link with your smartphone and then click that link. That will help you get registered, and I believe they will send you credentials to get into the room either tonight or tomorrow morning so that you can jump in the room there on the 24th. That's tomorrow at 8:45. You don't want to miss it. This is some free content, free learning. Take advantage of it. Use that QR code. I will leave a link in the description. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. How I made 20K today. All right, so first one. What did I trade today? 601 0 DTE calls. Okay, see this little, well, here's the base. All right, we've moved up. We held the higher ground. Okay, is getting past 230, so I bought some 0 DTEs for a pop into the rally anchored VWAP, which is the pink line right there. So you can see I bought it right. You can see I bought the bottom right here, and then sold off right up in right into that rally candle that went up there, and then I did it again right up into this rally with all these wicks up here. Okay, so there's 22K there. 606 4 DTE calls. Okay, I was underwater on these first thing in the morning, and you can see where I started, and I bought calls right here, 56, and I bought some more at 67. Okay, I was underwater, so I had to sell these at a loss. Now, for me, I don't look at it as selling it as a loss because I picked them up for 56 and I'm selling them for more than what I purchased them for. Now, it came up as a loss because my cost basis was not down here. My cost basis was up here above where I was selling it. So it turned out to be a loss first thing, but I don't look at it that way. I have 4 days till they expire. All I wanted to do was sell them for more than what I purchased them for, and I was able to do that. Then I bought the dip and then did it again, sold them up again, and I just kept buying the dips and selling into the rallies. As you can see, I bought this dip, sold into this rally all the way up here, bought this dip, sold into this rally, bought this dip, sold into this rally. Okay, so managed to ink out about 68K, 6,800 on those, 5,900 on some 620 calls, 4 DTEs. Again, I just bought the bottom for a penny and 2 pennies and sold them for 3 pennies. So bought the dip and then just sold into the rally. You can see price rallied right there, and it popped out of 1 cent all the way up to 3 cents, and I was able to capitalize on that. 625 calls, 7 days till expiration. Again, I bought them at 1 penny a piece. It's nice and easy when you do that. I sold them for 3 cents a share. So bought them for 1 penny a share, sold them for 3 cents a share. 610 calls, $77 on those. Just buying these for a rally. I'm expecting price to head on up to 605. We'll see how close it gets there. but sold those into the end of the day, looking to reload some more as price continues to pull back. 615, 10 DTE calls, only made $34 on those. Again, these are just preparation for the 605 rally. I'm expecting price to keep moving up. I'm looking at price moving up here, holding this higher ground. That's a bullish environment right there. So I lost some money on some puts. Okay, so I lost 2,900 on some 575 4 DTE puts. Also had a bunch of 590 0 DTE puts. Lost 5,200 on those. Okay, so but I managed to cancel them out with some of my other stuff. So not a bad day for today. Let's go take a look at the SPY on the 10-minute. All right, on the 10, and we have a 10-minute uptrend. Okay, over VWAP into the close. 10-minute uptrend over VWAP into the close. Let me just close this out. And we'll get rid of those. 10-minute uptrend into the close. 2-hour chart. 2-hour, look at that, 2-hour uptrend into the close. Now you guys know I like 10-minute uptrend over VWAP that's inside of a 2-hour uptrend, that's inside of a daily uptrend, that's inside of a weekly uptrend or weekly candles moving up, that's inside of a monthly uptrend, all right, all over the all-time high anchored VWAP, and that's kind of what we had today. So we'll take a look at that on the daily chart. So we got a 2-hour uptrend coming into the close. All right, so let's take a look at what we got going on here. Okay, you can see this is our all-time high anchored VWAP. We're up above that. We got a 2-hour uptrend. We had a 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. We have a daily uptrend. You can see the green candles, green trend indicator balls, daily uptrend. Weekly, didn't have a weekly uptrend, but you can see that the green trend indicator balls or the 17 EMA are green. So we got a downtrend, but we got weekly candles that keep moving up and holding the higher ground. So that's bullish. So we got weekly candles moving up, and we got a monthly uptrend because we failed to make a lower low. So we retain the uptrend status there. So on the daily chart, you can see right here on the daily chart, we've got price closing up in quadrant 4. That's bullish. Again, consolidating over prior consolidation. That's bullish. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's always bullish. Closing over a bullish trap is bullish. Closing over the 17 is bullish. Closing over a bearish trap is also bullish. So there's SPY making higher lows and higher highs, holding the higher ground. All of that is bullish. Consolidation over prior consolidation, that's bullish. Excuse me. All right, let's take a look at QQQ. All right, QQQ, we got, what do we got here? Got a lower high and a lower low, closing over a bullish cross. That's bullish. Over the 17 EMA, that's the green dots. That's bullish. Over the uptrend line, bullish. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP up here in quadrant 4. Again, consolidating over prior consolidation. That's a bullish environment. All right, so there's QQQ. Let's take a look at FNGB. All right, FNGB, lower high, lower low, closing over bullish cross, closing over the 17, closing up in quadrant 4, in an uptrend. All three are in uptrend still. SPY, QQQ, and FNGB. Closing up in quadrant 4. All of them bullish. All right, all in uptrends. Again, you got consolidation over prior consolidation. That's always a bullish environment for me in my book. All right, you can see price action consolidating up there over the prior consolidation right through here. All of this right there. So that's bullish for me. Okay, I like that. All right, so that's why I like those 10-minute uptrends inside those. Well, we're getting a little push right now. Nice little push. Okay, so that's why I like those 10-minute uptrends over VWAP that are inside those 2-hour uptrends, inside the daily uptrends. You got the bullish environment. We're up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Let's make some money. All right. So there's FNGB. Let's take a look at IWM. And that's not what I wanted. All right, IWM, again, consolidation over prior consolidation. That's bullish. So you can see consolidation over prior consolidation over here. See that? That's bullish. Price action is for today is looking like an outside day, really. Yeah, that's a higher high and a lower low, closing over a bullish cross over the 17, over this all-time high anchored VWAP. That's bullish. We're over the midpoint. That's bullish. Okay, not quite in bullish territory up here in the upper third or the lower third. That would be bearish territory. Still neutral, but acting very bullish, still in an uptrend, making higher lows and higher highs. That's an uptrend. That's always bullish. All right, so what do I got here? No, I don't want that. Hold on. Let me dump this. Let me get rid of these. Okay. All right, so that would be, that's SPY. And I just did Diamond. Did I do Diamond Dow? Diamond Dow. Price action for Diamond Dow. Outside day. Lower low, higher high. Closing over the bearish trap. Over the 17. That's both bullish. Up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's bullish. Price structure moving up and has held that higher ground. We're in the upper third. That's bullish. Price action still in an uptrend. Higher lows, higher highs. That's an uptrend. We're still bullish on Diamond Dow. So all of them are still bullish, all right? The only one that's kind of lagging is IWM, but it's not bearish. It's kind of neutral. But everybody else is acting really nice bullish, holding that higher ground. We're still in bull mode here. Again, I'm still expecting price to rally up to 650 for SPY. We'll see what happens here, okay? So there's Diamond Dow. Let me share my the map. Here's the road map, okay? We've been trading this and making money off of this road map for a while now, okay? Actually, 2 or 3 weeks. Ever since we discussed that we're into the supply zone up here between 583 and 605, we knew that it was going to take more than just 4 hours to cut through all of the supply zone. We knew it was going to take some consolidation. We knew it was going to take probably consolidation over prior consolidation. So all of this is moves that we expected as price moves up. So where are we now with the map? Let's take a look at it. And my arrows, okay. So you can see, let me take those off. Okay, so we've gone up here, all right, and we've come all the way back. All right, that's where we started this morning, all the way back here. Did a little double bottom or failed to make a significant lower low. And now we've rallied up to, I don't know where we are now. Let me see if I can find it. SPY's up to 600. Okay, so we're up to 600. That puts us right about there. Okay, and the next leg up is, of course, you can see up to 605. Now we may get a pullback, a half back right here. If maybe we get some trade deals done, Mr. Powell will talk about cutting some rates if we got some trade deals done. But I don't think he's going to talk about cutting rates. Let me just take some profits here again. Just a second. Got a little rally coming into the close here. I want to take some of those off the table. There we go. A little bit of profit taking there. Oh, there's some more. They should give us some more pretty soon here. Little profits taking right there. So I don't think Mr. Powell's going to cut rates until he figures out that where the tariff situation, because that's going to add some artificial inflation to our numbers, and we just can't. He can't have that. Okay, some artificial inflation while he's trying to fight inflation, because that's the Fed's job. So we'll see what happens here. But Mr. Powell's going to speak twice this week. I think once tomorrow at 10 and once on Wednesday at 10. All right, so we'll see what happens. We got some geopolitical news. I guess we made a strike on Iran. I'm not really worried about it as long as we maintain dominate air superiority over the air over Iran. I don't see a problem. Just don't want to get into a ground war where we're knocking on doors and trying to root out bad guys. But if we're just going to if we just maintain air superiority over the skies, I don't foresee any issues, all right, in the near future, other than them trying to retaliate. But I'm sure it'll get squashed almost immediately. So, but this is our roadmap, okay? Now, should things fall apart, we do have a possible leg down to 550, and then look for a snap back up real quick, all right? So we'll see. Oh, we got some more profits here for me to take. Yeah, might as well take them. Yeah, take them while you can. All right, so this is our roadmap. And again, I think we may put in one more V bottom here. All right, in other words, we may put in one more of these before doing the half back rip. All right, we may see one more of these, just like we did over here. Okay, so we'll see what happens here. Okay, in the near future, I'm looking for maybe a half back then rip, although we may not be ready yet. All right, if we don't have any tariff deals done, it's possible that we continue to consolidate over to the right until we get tariff deals done. So we'll see what happens with that. And let's go take a look at our technicals. All right, and let's take a look at our technicals here. Let's take a look at T2122. All right, you can see price action. This is the 23rd. So we bounced out of the seller's chop zone, clearing to the buyer's chop zone this morning. All right, made a huge dip all the way into the sell zone, and then a magnificent rally all the way back up through the sell zone, through the buyer's chop zone, right into the buy zone up here, okay? We're bullish. There's no doubt about it. We're bullish up here, all right? There's T2122. T2123, okay? 15-minute chart. You can see the selling right into the midday, and then the rally up out of there. So making its way back up to this flat 200 SMA. Okay, still in a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. So we're still in a downtrend. Actually, there's a high right there. So we're in an uptrend right now on the 15-minute chart. So nice work for V-bottom bounce. Again, I like it when they move down and give it up. All right, that helps that bullish structure stay alive. Again, moving up, holding the higher ground. That's bullish over the all-time high, over a prior all-time high. Always bullish up there. Over the 200 SMA is always bullish. Not quite there. I think we get there tomorrow morning. We'll see. All right, that's T2123 15-minute chart. 3-bar chart, okay? 2 more red candle bars right here, and 1 green one, okay? So a little profit taking here, and then looks like we finally made the higher low right there. This was the last low. This will be the first low underneath the 17 for the 3-bar chart. So we made a higher low finally. Question is, can we make a higher high? You can see price structure holding the higher ground up into these, between these two prior all-time highs. Again, over the 200 SMA is always bullish. 3-bar charts in an uptrend. There's a high right there. You can see the green candle balls. And of course, we made higher highs, so that's an uptrend on the 3-bar. Daily chart still has not taken out this high yet, so got some work to do. I do like the idea that we're consolidating right underneath this flat 200. I can probably foresee a strike ripping through there, or rally ripping through that flat 200, possibly making a higher high and negating the downtrend that we're in. Okay, so a daily chart on T2123 is in a downtrend, but let's face it, they're not moving down, they're moving up. Look at all the green 17 EMA balls right there. Okay, so you can see price structure is moving up, holding that higher ground. Look at that bullish gap that hasn't been filled. That's all. Whenever you see that bullish gap, these are clues, all right? I look for in the morning. Bullish gaps that don't get filled. That's a bullish clue. Bullish gap up. That's a bullish clue. Consolidation over prior consolidation. That's a bullish clue. Moving up, holding the higher ground. That's a bullish clue. Okay. Maintaining the uptrend. That's a bullish clue. Okay. Up over those 200 SMAs. Those are always bullish clues. So those are some of the bullish clues that I look for in the morning. All right. Is that consolidation over prior consolidation. All right. Let's go take a look at FNGB. You can see FNGB, again, got consolidation over prior consolidation. Right here, consolidate. And you can see right here, we are consolidating over prior consolidation. That's always bullish right there. Hey, way to go, Bobby. Nice work. Okay, that's always bullish. Up over the 200 SMA, also bullish. Whenever we got up over that 200 SMA, up over the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's always bullish. Over the uptrend line, that's always bullish. I like it when price moves down and gives it up. That's bullish. All right. I like the higher lows and the higher highs. That's always bullish. There's a high. Notice we made a higher high. Not quite over the 200 SMA, but I do like the idea that we're leaving the day leaning on it right there. Okay, so again, price structure is consolidating over prior consolidation. It's always bullish. That's FNGB. Let's take a look at a few other charts. Let's take a look at XLE. All right, here's let's go back. FNGB. Let's go look at XLE over here. And it's our energy sector. Energy getting walloped today. Okay, so outside day. I don't know if that's real. Is that real? I don't know if anyone knows that's real. Let's just see. Yep, that's real. All right. Okay. Daily candle. Wow. Higher high, lower low, closing underneath a bearish trap, underneath, but over the 17. Okay. Under the bearish trap is bearish. Over the 17 is bullish. Over downtrend line 1 is bullish. Under downtrend line 2 is bearish. Still neutral. Okay. Again, they moved up. Look how they moved up, and now they're giving it up. Okay. That's neutral. As I said, they got to hold that higher ground. Now, maybe they recover this tomorrow. All right. You can see price structure right up here at the midpoint. So not in the lower third, not in the upper third, so just neutral through here. That's XLE, all right? We're making higher lows and higher highs. That's an uptrend. That's always bullish. We were up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's always bullish. Looks like we lost that today, although we could recover it tomorrow. We'll see what happens, okay? So price structure just neutral through here, but acting bullish, still in an uptrend, okay? Needed it to hold the higher ground. Kind of lost a lot of it this morning, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. USO. All right, here's USO. Here's your culprit right there. USO, higher high, lower low, closing under the bullish trap. Again, I said watch this to hold up here because they got a habit of moving up and giving it up. Okay, and here you go. This is them giving it up. All right, it's kind of normal for them to move up and give it up. I didn't know how long they could sustain these highs. They held in there quite a bit, you know, about 5 days. Today they just gave it up. Again, outside day, higher high, lower low, closing under the bullish trap. That's bearish. Over the 17 is bullish. Still in the upper third. All right, amazing. Still in the upper third. That's bullish. XLE was just at the midpoint, so they're neutral. So this is still bullish. They're up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. We'll see what tomorrow's candle looks like. I'm going to venture to say it's probably going to be an inside day. All right, so there's USO. I'd look for tomorrow to be an inside day on this one. USO. Bullish, making higher lows and higher highs. That's an uptrend. That's always bullish. Over the 17, that's always bullish. And over the all-time high anchored VWAP, always bullish. And of course, in the upper third, always bullish up there. Let's take a look at UNG. And UNG puts in a lower high and a lower low, closing. No surprise here. Underneath the bullish trap, under the 17, almost underneath that 12-month high anchored VWAP. Still in an uptrend, over the uptrend line right here. Here's the low. Here's our uptrend line. All I'm doing is connecting the lows right through here. Okay, so you can see price structure. Under the 17 is bearish. Underneath the trap is bearish. Not in the lower third, so that's it's kind of neutral. All right, so just neutral for right now, but close to giving it up again. Okay, again, moving up and giving it up is just neutral. All right, so not in the upper third, not in the lower third, just neutral again for UNG. Okay, so you can see that's our 12-year high. That's our 12-month high anchored VWAP. Not a very high bar to set, even though they closed over it. Okay, the all-time high is, you know, way up here. You can see post-COVID highs of 138. All right, so long ways away from that. Not a very high bar there. Let's take a look at GLD and SLV, both in uptrends. And gold puts in, higher low, higher high, closing over the trap, over the 17, that's bullish. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's bullish. Over the uptrend line, up in quadrant 4, holding the higher ground, showing inverted head and shoulders. Everything that I'm saying right now is bullish, up in quadrant 4, bullish. Uptrend, higher lows, higher highs, that's an uptrend. So all of this is bullish. Gold right there, SLV. Just cooling off right now. SLV, higher low, higher high, closing, I'm going to say inside a bullish trap, over the 17, that's bullish. Up in quadrant 4, that's bullish, up over 12-year high anchored VWAP right here. It's a 12-year high anchored VWAP. Last time they were up here was 12 years ago. Okay, so that's a new 12-year high right there. Price action up in quadrant 4, that's bullish. Holding the higher ground for once, that's nice. That's bullish. Up in quadrant 4, that's bullish. Over the all-time high anchored the 12-year high anchored VWAP, that's bullish. And in an uptrend, higher lows, higher highs, that's an uptrend, that's always bullish. Let's take a look at That was SLV. Let's take a look at SMH. All right, SMH up here in quadrant 4, holding the higher ground. That's bullish. Again, you can see consolidation over prior consolidation. That's always bullish. Closing over a bullish trap and over the 17. That's always bullish environment. Up here, quadrant 4, that's bullish. Over this all-time high anchored VWAP, this is bullish. All of this, okay? Again, they moved down and they gave it up. That was neutral, but then they gave up more. That makes them bullish up there. SMH, looking good, all right? Looking at the last time they were up here, okay? 2 or 3 days and they gave it up. 3 or 4 or 5 days and they gave it up. 2 days gave it up. 3 days gave it up. 1 day couldn't hold it for more than 1 day. 2 days gave it up. Look at the last performance. Okay, they were up here. You can see almost all the way through all of August and all from August to April struggled to hold quadrant 4. Okay, up here was nice, but you can see each time they got up there, they gave it up. So now we're up there and holding. That is a bullish environment right there. Okay, that's a bullish clue. SMH is doing good. All right, so there's semiconductors. This is tech. Okay, when tech does good, the market rallies. All right, so there's SMH holding that higher ground. Love that. XLK. All right, XLK attacking the all-time highs again. Lower high, lower low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 up here in quadrant 4. Again, consolidating over prior consolidation. That's bullish. Over the uptrend line, bullish over the all-time high anchored VWAP, making higher lows and higher highs. That's bullish. All of that is bullish. Okay, quadrant 4 uptrend over the all-time high anchored VWAP, closing over the trap and consolidating over prior consolidation and holding that higher ground. That's all bullish. XLF doing the same thing, but not as pretty. Oh, nice candle for today for XLF. Got a outside day, obviously. Closing over the trap, over the 17. That's always bullish. Holding this higher ground. That's always bullish. Up in quadrant 4, bullish. Over this all-time high anchored VWAP. That's always bullish. In an uptrend with higher lows and higher highs. Haven't made a higher high in a while now, okay? Since mid-May, we have not made any higher highs, okay? So it's been a month, and no dice, just moving to the right. But then again, look, it was well-needed cool-off, okay? So maybe if they can, bulk up on some spinach and mustard, they can make a nice run at those all-time highs again. So that's XLF. Looking good. XLF is looking good. SMH is looking good. XLK is looking good. SPY is looking good. QQQ is looking good. FNGB is looking good. Okay, now comes what tends to be the problem child most of the time. But let's look at this and call them balls and strikes here. Okay, it's up and it's holding the higher ground. That's bullish. Okay, we're closing over a trap over the 17. That's bullish. We're attacking the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's bullish. Not in the upper third, not in the lower third, and we're still in an uptrend. Okay, so uptrend is bullish. Not in the upper third, not in the lower third. That makes us neutral. But acting bullish, holding this higher ground. So we'll see if maybe IYT can complete the W pattern for a breakout up to here. We'll see. That would be nice. So there's the daily chart for IYT. All right, that's it for me for today. All right, I will see you guys all tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning. If you guys got questions, don't forget to hit me up. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 o'clock. We'll do it again. Let's get set up to make some more money. Jim, did you do all right? Brad, did you have any wins today? Alan, any wins? Bobby got a win, I think. Bobby got Starbucks money and I think a little bit more. than that. Any wins out there today? Brad got a gold. Love it, Brad. Alan continues to impress. 8%. Love it, Alan. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Brad got 1 point. I love it, Brad. I love it. Way to go. It says, I'm telling you, it's those, it's the 10-minute uptrends over VWAP and under VWAP that we continue to trade over and over, okay? So here's SPY, and you can see here's a out of the gate 10-minute uptrend over VWAP, okay? And then we had one under VWAP, and then we started another one over VWAP. Look at that rally into the close all the way up to 600.5. That was our second target, right, guys? 650 cents was our second target. First target's 959, 599.50, then 650. That was our second target. There you go. Okay, so boom, boom, bingo, like that. All right, like that structure holding that higher ground. Not a good made you the operator ever with closing wrong trades. You'll get better. You'll get better, Jim. Sometimes I have some of those days too. You're not alone. You're not alone there. I've had some of those days as well. There's always tomorrow. Tomorrow we're with the map. All right. I truly believe we're headed right up here back to 605. I think that's our next ticket and our next stop up there, 605. Who knows? Maybe if we get some tariff deals done, we don't even do the halfback. We just keep ripping. We'll see. Yeah, congrats to all those that made their goals today or profits, either one. Love it. Thank you. I will see you guys all tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Thanks for hanging out with me. All right, tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Thank you. Thank you, traders.